I had the tongue of my shoe wrap around a cord and it almost took a whole ensemble with it. Not my preferred cup of spilling over most everything ever. You know something else I did, and I didn't even show this one yet. I'll try to make my own video just on this, I guess. I have some gloss. I have some... Where is it? This stuff's about done with. Varnish. Gloss varnish. Is this gonna work alright? Can I see what I'm aiming at? Yeah, got a bit of that going on then. As a graphic for the neck of the guitar. You know? One thing that I found out about this channel also, this YouTube channel I have, is that you can't really expect to know what to see. And for me, that's pretty exciting, I'd say. But it's not really what a lot of other people would probably go for. But, you know, I don't mind that. I had this idea that I'd get with it for organizing and sorting video content out and all that kind of thing, but maybe I'll be like life itself, and whatever comes up, I'll just deal with as it does. So I'd like to say a nice thing about the LR Bags company, where I got the M1 active pickup, which is not that you can see what it looks like, even if I try to show you. I'm only saying that because I have it in right here, and I have that graphic. Let's not try to do that. Graphic put over the pickup. Well, I had a couple LR bags. I had one to install permanently or until the guitar is no longer playable and I want to manually take it up into that guitar. And in Yamaha, not this one. This is a Yamaha though. I keep thinking maybe I want to sell this thing but I have the sticker in there. I don't think people would want it with the sticker. I think they wouldn't mind the pick guard though. I had did the graphic on that. It was a hummingbird and then I turned the hummingbird into a heron. Well, I'm talking right now and I can feel the guitar body vibrate too, so there's a lot of reasons why I want to actually keep this. Plus it's such a cheap cost guitar. Very much out of tune now, but whatever. Yeah, and the strings are very old on it too, but I still feel like there's something there with it. Using a pick and having a nice fresh set of strings on there and getting a nice blistering, piercing sound works pretty good for it. But if I'm using your thumb on it, I like deadened and worn-in strings and all that kind of thing. But I had a LR Bags that's a freeform one too, and I just let it tail itself out of the sound hole, you know. So I don't have to drill into the body of a guitar. But, you know, I was wondering about what to do with that, because typically you get one thing of extra parts with it, and some of these in here are actually to hold the wire to the side of the inside of the instrument so that it's not flopping around or anything. The wire that goes from this insert jack, the instrument jack plug, all the way up to the sound hole pickup. So there's these things here that they come with the kit, and you just bend them and then they'll, you know, grab around the wire. What I do though is I just circle the wire up. Thank you. I just circle the wire up and then, you know, tie something around it, and it'll stay inside the guitar like that. Just put a tie like right there, rather than having it like hoisted, you know, to the sides with those little things I just showed you. Just because it's easier that way. Just because maybe these things won't stick so well and they'll fall out one day and make sound of the cord bouncing off of it. Anyway, my nice thing that I wanted to say, since I want to practice saying more nice things, I guess. Plus, I can actually put all these parts into one bag, rather than having several bags around with an extra bag with nothing in it. They give you batteries with the pickup. Not every company really does that. Fishman company did, though. For the Fishman tuner I have, which I think is better than a Snark. Now that I've broken a Snark tuner and had to rely on a Fishman, I actually prefer the Fishman tuner now. Oh, here it is right now. This is the Fishman tuner. See? Off. On. On. Okay. This actually came with a battery, is what I'm trying to say. So the LR Bags company, I wrote to them and I said something like, hey, I'd like to have a few more pole pieces for the high strings, and you have these pieces that you take this tool right here, and you know, you can raise and heighten the magnetic pole pieces. Which are right here, which I cut through on the graphic that I have here. And yeah, you can just raise and lower them and all that kind of thing. I asked, I said, do you have any of these accessories that you actually would have on sale, just to keep around as extras in case I want to mess around with magnetic pole height for my pickups? And they had mailed me a whole other thing of them. So having 2 pickups of that LR Bags M1 Active brand, the active stands for batteries, rather than being passive. And if they were passive, then I would use a compressor to try to boost it. We all gotta boost it. That'll really save humanity. So I got all these stored now, except for this one pole piece I forgot to put back in. They had sent me parts free of charge, knowing that I supported them on 2 purchases of those pickups anyhow. So that was cool of them. I am practical with the idea that using affordable pedals can be pretty nice, and I use the compressor here, and I'm very happy with it. It's a Donner. They call it the Donner Party Company. They're for hungry folks. If you're hungry for musical expression, you can always trust Donner till you go too far out. Wonder which direction to go and have to start getting really into it, I suppose. I have a compressor and a delay pedal. It's supposed to mimic an analog delay, from what I understand. Of course, it's not actually analog, but these are nice to have. I like them. I'm trying to sort through things. Trying to get a setup for the amplifiers here, so that instead of being stored away in this box, for these amps. It's a Fishman loud box and a PV Studio Pro. For the PV Studio Pro, I put a Texas Heat Seeker, or a Texas Patriot, whatever the hell it's called. I don't even know what the hell it's called. Whatever. It's that one guy says to put in at the end, the blues guy. Fellow Aussie, like I pretend to be, only he's a real Australian. I'm international by heart. Deep down, I'm from America, my country. Should I speak about it? People have gone out of their minds. If I get caught having any thoughts, I'm gonna have a lot of people jump on me, you know, so. Well, it's nice that this is nice and out of tune, so then I can let you know that this Fishman is rather dandy. In fact, I should write a review somewhere about it, how dandy it is. Ooh. Okay. I feel alright about that then. I want to share your wild secrets of such a circumstance to you. Another company that I thought was really great with getting out and reaching back to its consumer base. That's me, I'm a consumer base. Thanks. Is Yamaha. Yamaha, oh, they're a great company. They actually get back to you. I had like a 40-minute phone conversation with this gentleman on the phone who worked for Yamaha, and we were talking about all sorts of stuff. We were talking about this guitar. He went and talked to me about this guitar, this basic learner's level guitar, because I had a bridge plate area that was getting eaten out real good. So every time I tried playing the guitar, it was moaning ludicrously, and I needed to. I was like, I can't hear myself even play the guitar. The guitar's moaning because the bridge plate's being eaten out so bad. He said, you send the whole thing back. We'll replace the guitar for you or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but this thing sounds great, you know. I just want to make sure I don't know, something. I want to make sure something's covered regarding the thing, I guess. And I was just curious about it. And I was also saying that, hey, the way that these are pressed out for the bridge plate wood that you have going on in the guitar, you know, mine might not be the only one. Because at the factory for the bridge plate thing they got going on underneath here, you know, if you take a mirror and a flashlight, colonoscopy kit or whatever, and look up into there, you'll see that sometimes bridge plates on guitars are chewed out. And I think it's because they have a machine that presses the holes into it constantly, and it might tear in after a while and all that kind of thing. So I used a bridge plate cover thing. It's this like strip of metal underneath here, and it created a really metallic sound out of my guitar, which I kind of liked, but I eventually took that out, so it's got a more of a woody sound yet again. And I just, you know, repaired that by mixing up some super glue with some shaved off maple, and got to work with having the strings off, getting my hand underneath there, and just pressing the mixture of super glue with maple shavings up against where the parts were being ripped out, so that the ball ends of the strings weren't like tearing in, you know, so that the ball ends of the strings weren't digging in and sinking in more and more and more. So even if it happens again, I can just keep redoing it with super glue and wood mixture Otherwise, I can add that metal strip in where, I guess, the ball ends of the strings, they hold and catch onto the metal strip rather than digging and burying themselves deeper into the bridge plate. I was like hyper analytical, about what's going on with this guitar, and super excited about it, being such a cheap beginner's guitar, and one that I think basically anybody can actually play and be happy with. Not that I'm going to do too much of that right now, because I just feel like talking, and I'm not really warmed up to doing anything at all. I didn't even know I was going to make this video, but here it is. So. Anyway, no, I'm not going to play anymore. I just like holding a guitar sometimes. But, you're asking me about what I do for when I record and stuff. I get like 3 listeners per every song for every 2 years if I make anything, so to have me as the person to even say anything about what I'm doing, it's just me biding time right now, I think. Plus I have to sneeze. Check out this graphic I did right there. Gotta sneeze, give me a second. I guess it's just a single sneeze. I have a Furman plug right here. Nice metal casing to it. I got one when it was affordable. They went up in price so much at this point that I don't want to think about it. Someone wants to throw one my way and it lands near the front of my feet rather than clipping me in the head, I'd be happy to use it, but it actually took some of the 60 cycle hum away, which is really nice, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna take the instrument plug out. Just let everything fall to the floor, because it's gonna happen anyway. I got both my amps plugged in. So I have a Fishman, and let's see what the settings might be. Just flipping this on. You got that kind of hiss there, but it's not anything horrible. It's just a presence. You turn off the master, that's the one to do it. Who knows how vocal that actually is as a presence. Turn this off. That sounds lovely. Okay, so I have a pretty old PV amp here, because it's the one that's not only designed in, but made in America, from Mississippi, and I think some things need to be replaced as far as the whatchamacallits in there. Anyway, turn it on and you'll get what the kind of presence is. Strangely enough, from what I had just actually learned, all I did is take the reverb and dial it down to 0. So I thought there was an issue just from, in general, some old whatchamacallits in there that need to be replaced. I forgot the name of them, but, I'll leave it for some YouTuber with a strange facial expression and a horrifying presence of optimism, to explain all that. But I'm tired. I'm still drinking my coffee and waking up for the night here. But yes, the reverb. It's not doing the splash thing. So that's interesting. I don't know if that's annoying or a good, or if it's a good find that it seems to be that. You want to be a little bit crazy here. Turn it on to the lead channel. I like the lead channel on the PVs, by the way. Other people have nothing but complaints about them when they review these amps. I like the sound to it because if you turn your tone down a bit, you get that kind of rock style that's really fun. And I'm not talking about metal rock or balls to the walls rock, but the old, you know, just I don't know what to call it, just rock and roll. It's what I call rock and roll. I confuse a lot of people when I just say rock and roll because there's so many things come to mind of that, you know, 90s bruise your guitar up and run around belligerent kind of thing. Not that that's okay, but I'm just talking about old phantoms and antique metal that you're trying to hang on to keep from falling apart, and a little bit of some classiness that you can try to afford to have in life. Anyway, we'll turn it to the lead channel here. I'm kind of fret, a little bit scared, but we'll see. Ready? All right. That's the lead. Now I'm gonna turn the reverb up. It's doing it, but it's attaching itself to the sound of the winter, the snow hiss. That's what I guess I call it. Go to the clean channel. All the lead channel does is cover for it already being there. So that's interesting. The thing is, it's not a 60 cycle hum, which is a dumb name anyway. It's a photo of a vulture I took and the glass broke off. I ended up maybe scarring my hand. I bled profusely, but I clotted rather quickly. I don't really want to stand up. I'd rather sit down. This is a professional business I'm in, whatever the hell I'm doing. Yeah, the glass broke and I tried to bag it up and remove it, and then I had this whole thing to move. This whole entire shelving unit thing and everything. So that paper bag was leaned up right against it. I was moving it, and I'm like, I could get this bag out of the way. I wasn't thinking I had that stacked glass in there. So I grabbed it, my fingers started bleeding everywhere. It was beautiful. I didn't even use any of the blood to paint my guitar with, which was a dumb mistake on my part, I guess. I don't know, I have two guitars. If I ever end up bleeding or anything, I like to smear it on my guitar. You weren't trained to do that when, they taught you about getting the right tone for your guitar. Well, fair enough, I guess. So that basically that picture frame has no glass in it anymore. That's the point I'm trying to get to. But that Furman electric box outlet, it does cover up some 60 cycles hum that I have and everything. But now I know that, from what I understand, I think I know this. I think that there's something involved in the reverb then that's carrying that presence for that PV amp. So, and I do have another reverb pan. It's meant to get put right into that because it's the reverb pan that goes into the PV Bandit. I found one. It has old new stock on reverb, and I have it stored away, ready to install. The thing is, I think I need to do some soldering to get it in there. And if the hum is still present after replacing the reverb pan now, I guess that's something I'm apt to be curious about. I'd rather not spend money having somebody else repair it for me if I could do it myself. Set a little bit of a wager of, am I going to make it worse trying to do it myself, or get to the point and get it done. So find out about that. Yeah, I got discarded strings practically in cubbies. Anywhere I look, you like that sound? Anywhere I look and anywhere I move, more random stuff just falling too. So got these little things here. I just wanted one. It sent me like a million of them for the deoxit spray. There's these things you can go like this, and you get your contact cleaner, your deoxit or whatever, spray it down into there, have it not fly out and go into your eyeballs or anything like that, unless that's what you're into or whatever. You know, put it back on. If you got something like a potentiometer or something, you're going to try to clean it out in the worst way possible. You know, you can squirt this through and get to harder to reach spots and everything, but I just wanted one. I had to order some off eBay like 5 years ago or so. Now I got this old wasabi can. It has a toothbrush in it. And some of those things that I just showed you. A bunch of others. Random stuff. I can't even say what it is. Like lint. It's like random stuff. But it has uses. You know. And we got all more of those. And they're just there. It's ungodly to look at. Look at this. Have that in your room somewhere. Have that in a place. Good luck with that. Got a sticker for Globe shoes. You know what I like to do with stickers? Is I put aerosol paint over stickers, and then I draw my own graphics on them. And then I could even use some of this gloss. Get it to actually stay put. If you're doing a sticker. I don't even know if I like that or not, but it's something I did. It's hand art. It's one of a kind. It's hand art. It's one of a kind. It's hand art. It's one of a kind. Get the gloss on there. And all it has to do is be put where it was, doing nothing different than it's been doing. I got phone numbers on the back. I don't even know what they're for. Perhaps if I pay attention and read a bit what those numbers are. Get some gloss on there. I could do a second layer too. There's that number. I can't go low down no more. I can't go low down no more. Maybe I just had a song idea or something. So I got that. Set that up there. I have a pick guard I did a graphic for laying around here. I don't ever use pick guards. We'll see if this completely obliterates my YouTube presence or not. It's from a massage book. That's what all these characters are from. Let me just hit the guitar against the roof. Basically, I transferred imagery across my instruments from a massage book from 1970s. It was very hip. It was very hip, free-spirited, and groovy. And the people that were hip, free-spirited, and groovy now want to tell me what I can and can't think all the time and up the amount of taxes for everything you breathe. Weird how that happened. It's called an Overton window. I know about an Overton window, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. So, or I am, I guess. I just need to choose when to do so. That's some CD from like early high school. And I found it, and now it's here. I don't know why I drew that. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't hate it or anything. It's got some bands that aren't horrible, but most of the bands on here, I don't know. It's got The Damned, it's got Elvis Costello, Necromantics, Guttermouth, Tiger Army. It has the Doors on it for some reason. It has a band called Hot Hot Heat. There we go, that's a good one. It's one of those ones I won't feel too ashamed of. I think there's Hot Hot Heat. It was nice to have them being a song being played on the radio, and it had a little bit of something to it, even though everyone was really trying to do this like garage rock revival thing in a forced kind of way. It still was better than what was to soon come. It might have been a pathway to leading to what would have soon come, or it might have been a final thing for certain demographics to actually be able to have a little bit of fun in life still and everything like that. There was the International Noise Conspiracy too, and a bunch of bands like that. And one called Akara Cult, Ikaracolt. Yeah. And then anyway, independent music got completely blasphemized, blasterteened, blaffertized, or whatever. Yeah, stuff like this laying around. I don't even know what the hell it goes to. These certain things have uses, but I don't know what they go to. I'm gonna find uses for them. You know, like a tripod thing. That looks gross, but got like a cotton ball stuck in there to hold this piece here that the camera mount goes onto. A cotton ball stuck in there keeps it from jingling about, and it works. And the other part of the tripod is somewhere. It's just I took a drill and screwed through there, and then on the other end of the tripod mount with the actual tripod, there's a hole there too, and that's how I mount this to it. So if I want to change batteries on cameras where I need to undo the mount, I have to do this. Get the screw off, do all that, put the batteries back in. One of the many things laying around here. I have a thing called a box. I'm going to put things into that box. And then I'll need to get something out of that box when it's completely full of things. And then everything's going to go everywhere. In the meanwhile, we can check up on this sticker, and I can return to talking about it. It has gloss on it. So one thing I did is I made lots of stickers. I might even have some here right now. I don't know. I turned this into a space to store papers. It's styrofoam. I felt like it was a way of safely doing that. And a thing called a rewritable CD in its plastic packing still. If anyone would like to purchase this to support me actually putting another album out or something, then go for it. Get a receipt. Well, I thought there might have been more stickers in here, but I can't see a single thing really worth sharing that's in here. Just crude sketches, which I'm going to have to make more of again to get anywhere halfway decent with illustrating. Survive knowing that I'm making crude sketches that I don't necessarily enjoy, but they're going to get somewhere if I keep doing it anyway. With all the handmade stickers that I'd made, and I have probably thousands or something around here stored away, just either really quick ones done or ones where I took some time. Basically, between editing all of those Chameleon Shelter albums and everything like that, I was multitasking like a mad bastard. Then I'd, go and take a sticker and go put it up somewhere or something like that, and then typically they'd get painted over, ripped off, taken down, whatever. So I realized that nothing's worth anything, nothing's worth doing anything for the sake of anything, but you still have to do things anyway, so anyway. Anything else? I just have to sort through tons of stuff, so yeah, and I do have more of those too. Those pedals, these ones are the ones supposed to be ready to go. The compressor and the delay for the Donner Company. I think those are fantastic. I mean, you'll just... Oh my lord, I got another rubber eraser, or rubber washer thing. Now I'm really rolling here because you can actually, I can put that in with the other one. And I found some cloth. Looks like snake skin on it. No, that's a different kind. There's a piece of this fabric where if you turned it inside out, it looked like imitation snake skin. It was pretty neat. I thought I'd keep that and mess about with it. I do have a Behringer pedal in there somewhere. I like to upset the music community by owning Behringer pedals and putting them to use, because it's what I could afford at the time, and it's what I learned to try to bring the best out with sound. I think that about covers whatever it was that needed to be said. I guess it was also, I want to tie all these knots up, because I got usually about 15 topics going on simultaneously. But yeah, I had that pick guard done. That was going to be basically a traveling piece of concept across my instruments with characters from that book that I had found. And you know, it's going to be the pick guard for this instrument, you know, so everything's good on the border for it as far as what I want. The top still, I don't know where I'm going with it. I keep painting over and unpainting the gold around the sound holes. I'm not ever necessarily satisfied with it, but I've called this guitar Nightmare for the longest time with the wiring issues that I was having. Places locally that refused to even look at it when I had questions about it, and then I brought it up to a place, and then I brought it up to another place. One place did kind of okay with it, but it needed grounded wiring, shielded cabling. People said it would make a minimal difference. The place I went to the last time, the one that had the, you know, you go downstairs and where the dog is, in case that person ever listens to me, which I doubt they'll tune into this video, but they were very cool. I like their shop quite a bit. Nonetheless, I still had to actually do something on my own. I had to take it all out again, the guts and electronics of it, and actually re-secure the tone, because it wasn't soldered where the eye was filled up, and I had to do that. The guitar, basically, you know, that one was making it mandatory for me, if I'm talking about the guitar, put that on there too. It's apparently a navy patch I found on eBay. It's called Sexy Sally Shark. One of a kind, I think. I haven't seen other ones like that listed. If there are other ones out there, I don't mind really. It's just that, for whatever reason, I found myself with that. But what I'm trying to say is that with this guitar, it made it where I had to be the one to finish it out for the wiring project on it, no matter what. Locally, I was trying to get people, I was trying to pay people to basically check the wiring over. But basically, everyone kept saying that the sound is good on it. I wired it correctly the first time and everything like that. But I was getting 60 cycle, I don't like calling it that, but whatever, 60 cycle hum again and again and again and again, especially over in that room. I realized my Dell laptop is a gremlin, and I haven't punted it into a river. The Dell laptop, I had a Toshiba I should have kept. I didn't realize I could learn how to solder and fix this Toshiba. So it's a wasted useful waste. No longer with me, the Toshiba laptop, but it was grounded better for having musical items in the same room as it. But when I got it finally through the Nightmare process, and that's why I called this guitar Nightmare, it made a really good difference having the potentiometer wiring and the control wiring to be shielded. It made a tremendous difference that places where it was being tested out, they didn't know about because they weren't experiencing whatever I was, having my Android phone and my Dell laptop in the same room. And there is a bit of an intermittent, presence that comes up from having this guitar in there with it. But the shielded wiring did a great number for helping out. And I needed to be the last one myself to put the touches on this, just for some sort of almost ritualistic reason, I suppose. Not sure if I really wanted it that way, but the guitar forced me to keep it that way. So one thing that I did for the I can't see around the fucking thing. Can you see the instrument input area? There it is. Right there. Underneath there, I drilled a hole out for the components to be able to come out of the body. So there's a hole drilled that probably goes around like this, beyond what the insert jack plug has as a surrounding space, so that for whatever reason, if I have to do anything at all touching the electronics, working at the electronics, which is the last thing out of many things that I'd ever want to do, if I have to mess around with that part of it, I just take the plate off and should be able to pull that out from the body that way, rather than having to do fishing everything out of the pickup hole and all that kind of thing. So that's what happened. And now that it's repaired and that the guitar is good to go and all this, and I can just have my fun doing visual art on it to my heart's content, it's not called Nightmare anymore. The guitar, I decided to name a Cataclysm. It's Cataclysm is this guitar, so that's it, with messing about with music things. I just want to discuss also getting really wound up about people that are into tone and messing about with guitars and figuring out putting, I'm going to put this bone saddle on this and mess about doing this with this and blah, 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 blah. As a background process, it's basically, sometimes it's just an excuse to keep from straightforward recording and working on actual songs and everything. It's kind of like a side path that works as a excuse you can have for not going direct into just writing and recording all the time and everything like that. So, given the situation of floundering or whatever that my musical expression has been kind of coerced into anyway, it's almost kind of like putting off the disappointment, of finishing things up and then having the world seem like crickets to you immediately upon all aspects and everything. So I did learn a lot, though, probably more than I really need to, but people, might say that's not anything you can have at all. If you've learned anything at all, then it's a good thing that you did. One other thing, it never ceases to amaze me. Every single time this strap will grab onto a guitar stand, every single time, and it'll take it with it. It might take like 15 things more with it if you let it. I keep my electric guitars strapped up to the neck right there, because if you have the harmonica, you need a harmonica holder around your neck, and this thing just already ripped fur off my face. Fuzz. That was painful. These, what the hell's the name of them? I can't even see the name. I think I know the name of it. East top, I was gonna say blues top, these East top harmonicas. So whatever, I don't even know what I'm playing, but just, the thing is, having the strap go up this way and have a big clearing lets you wear this around your neck, where if you had it hooked up to this one here, it kind of stripes a bit. So I'm not gonna do any bending because I'm still waking up. I'm not gonna bend any notes on the harmonica because can I even do it on this one? I don't know if the things are stuck on this one or not because it's hit or miss with this brand of harmonica. So. I don't know what world I'm in. I don't know what world I'm in. Anyway, that's all I'm trying to say. So I like that. There's some sort of like freedom of movement having the strap up that way. It's not always the best thing, but if you're gonna have harmonica and play it, it makes it so you're not like getting claustrophobic. And I'm not sure what I am or I am not gonna play whenever just throw it. All I gotta do is just throw it. Once you throw it and don't have to deal with looking at it, yeah, it's fine. But I don't know. Just for every guitar I have, the strap goes up to there, because you don't know. Maybe you want to play the harmonica while you do whatever you're doing. Not even to play the harmonica. Maybe just to make some sound. Maybe it'll just be some sound. You know. I don't know. Seltzer makes you burp though, and I appreciate that. It's one of my favorite things, you know, that happens living this life that you get to live and everything. So that's that. We'll see what else happens. I'm not necessarily much of a hurry to go because I'm actually able to kind of relax a little making this video and all that, but I think it's about time. And next step I have is to begrudgingly work on that website again and write some articles about the effects of social media on today's world and everything. I don't want to go back onto that stuff. I don't want to do that. So try to work on making old school web pages and adding tons of them, not overdoing my limit that my web host now says that I have. Thanks a lot for giving me that limit after I already signed up. Very nice of you, very unexpected in today's lovely world of trustability and all that kind of thing. Well, if you want a Windows 8.1, what is it? That's not even I thought that was a register. I thought that was not the serial, but the activation number or whatever. Damn, yeah, I got like a little notebook somewhere of like Windows XP 8.1 and Windows 10 numbers, and I don't even need those anymore. You don't even need those now if you're installing things. But I don't know. Well, I gotta sort through so much stuff though. That's just barely balanced at all before tipping over immensely. Oh, I thought I could open these up and show them. It's a box. Not only that, it's a box of business cards. Tons of business cards. And then I hand them out to people and they say they can't read what's on my business card. They have to squint because I put the graphic for my email and my contact in small lettering because I was so I was so enamored by making a design that I thought was neat and everything, so I have all these business cards and everything like that, you know, so. Alright. That's my video. What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is that? Anyway, that's my video. I'm gonna drink more coffee, and I'm probably gonna have to stay up for like 12 hours and push myself through the day tomorrow. Is that fun? Does that sound like fun to you? Maybe you want to do that for me. Well, thanks. Thank you for doing that for me.